Hey everybody, Dirili here. Thank you so much for joining me for the very first episode on my channel of Sweet Fuse at your side. We're going to start with Subaru Shido because I think he's the hottest guy in this game. Although I know it's not part of the recommended order, but I don't care. Yeah, the premise, I'll go ahead and let the introduction explain that because it explains it thoroughly enough, easily enough. So I'll just go ahead and jump right into it. This game it's kind of an old game, and it's downloadable on the PSN store for your Vita or PSP, or you can still buy hard copies of it for PSP. So, let us begin. We're starting a new game, but I already checked out this game just to make sure everything was working properly, so we have entered the name before, which is the default name that I always like to use. Is it morning already? I guess I fell asleep after all. Ugh, shut up, alarm. Much better. Well, Uncle, I hope you're ready. My uncle is the creator of a new theme park called the Gamatorium. He'd invited me to the pre-opening event, but I'd been so excited and restless I barely slept. All right, Kane Debu, let's hope it goes well. Who's Kane Debu? This little guy is called Kane Debu, and he's the Gamatorium's mascot. My uncle gave him to me a while back. He's super adorable, but more importantly, he looks like a rice ball, and rice balls are delicious. Yeah, that's really important and a great reason to like it, because it looks like a rice ball. Interesting. I may be in for some eccentric heroine here. Anyway, I got out of bed as fast as I could, and had big plans for my day at the park. I wish I could bring some of my friends, but the invite said it was just for staff and their relatives. He's your uncle, couldn't you ask him if he could bring some friends along? Oh well, I'm sure I can still have lots of fun all by myself. Alright, time to get dressed. I seem very enthusiastic. Gosh, I can't believe it's actually really finally opening. I guess he was telling the truth. My uncle is Keiji Inafune, a game creator known throughout the universe. The universe, not just Earth, but they have video games on other planets, and he is known well for them. He'd been telling me for years that his dream was to make a theme park from all his favorite games. Games that he made?
Ah, Inafune, someday your uncle's gonna make a theme park, and every single attraction will be based on a video game. Doesn't that sound great? Wouldn't you like to meet the heroes and heroines of your favorite games?
Yeah, sounds great. It's not that surprising he did it, really. He's always making his dreams into reality, and video games are a pretty big deal these days. Every single thing in the park is based on a popular game. Now approaching Kanehama Station. Kanehama Station, next stop. Ah, that's my stop. I sure hope nothing bad happens today. Oh, you just jinxed yourself right there. That's like saying, what's the worst that could happen? The Gamatorium, it's very bright. I made my way out of the busy station and walked quickly toward the park, excitement putting a spring in my step. This is it. This is the Gamatorium. The only people who'd be allowed in were staff members, their families, and some news crews, but even so, the place was packed. Aha! Looks like that seat's open. We smiled at each other as I sat down in the empty seat. I could see a number of older men in suits sitting on the stage in the front. I figured they must be the park's managers and owners. In front of the stage was a whole row of cameras. They had to belong to the press. It's really getting a lot of attention, huh? I saw a story about how the Gamatorium was about to open on TV just the other day. I'm so proud of my uncle. I was still looking around excitedly when I heard a drum roll start up. It sounded like things were about to start. From somewhere near the stage, I could hear a band begin to play. This is it. It's finally starting.
Thank you all so much for coming to the Gamatorium today. I am Mr. Inafune, the creator of this theme park.
Nice hat, Uncle. How the hell's it staying on your head? That's him. That's my uncle. I almost leapt up to wave at him before I caught myself.
Now then, let me tell you a bit about the Gamatorium.
Huh? Is something wrong with the mic? I can't hear him. He stepped back from the mic, confused, and tapped it a couple times. I hope everything's okay. How embarrassing. I was starting to fidget when suddenly...
Game?
What?
Game, give me a break. You're going to pay for this.
What is this? I could see my uncle running back and forth in confusion. What the heck is going on? Who was that voice? What were they talking about? Something was wrong. Even from far away, I could see that the men in suits all looked very stiff. Maybe they're just good actors.
Hey, look!
I turned toward where he was pointing. Ugh, weirdo. What? A crowd of people in what looked like black unitards were running in through the entrance. Why are you pointing? Who are they? Is this some sort of performance art? Of course, that would make sense. My uncle has always been good at thinking up fun stuff, and he's got a great sense of humor. The guys in the unitards ran up to the stage and started tying up the men in business suits. I couldn't begin to guess what was going to happen next, so I just kept watching with bated breath.
So, I've done away with that park mascot thing, Kane de Boo, right?
The same mascot I had on my phone strap. I wasn't sure what he meant by doing away with Kane de Boo. Did that mean the park was going to close? Gosh, Uncle Keiji, you sure come up with some weird stuff. Everyone seemed to be stunned that the park's mascot would be done away with on the first day. Looking at how worked up the audience had gotten, I was sure my uncle was feeling pretty proud of himself. Then suddenly, smoke filled the stage, and I could just barely make out something rising up from below it. Ugh. What is that? A costume? It looks a little like Kane de Boo, but it was different.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. I, Count Hogstein, will be taking control now. It's wonderful to meet you.
I had to stifle a laugh. His voice didn't match up with his costume at all. He performed an odd sort of self-indulgent pirouette and bowed.
Oink, oink, oink. The thing that matters most to me in all the world is money, and the one thing I can't stand is when people waste it. And boy, howdy is this place a waste. I can't believe you people are going to give this joker your hard-earned cash, so for your sake, I will blow it up. Boom!
Already? Game over? Huh? No sooner had he spoken than the Ferris wheel exploded in a thunderous roar of flames. We watched, mouths hanging open, as the symbol of the park crumbled to the ground in a cloud of smoke. That's the best thing in the park. I'm starting to think maybe this isn't just an act. As soon as I turned back to the stage, the entire crowd erupted in panic. The screams of frightened people quickly drowned out the fading rumble of the Ferris wheel's collapse.
Now, everyone, settle down. The real show starts right now, so please, don't panic.
What? This pig isn't done yet? No, forget about him. I have to save my Uncle Keiji. I fought my way through the hundreds of terrified attendees toward the stage. Even as I did, Count Hogstein continued his stupid speech.
I will now choose 7 people to join me in a 7-day-long game. The bombs I set to go off on that day will be stopped if the players can beat my game and solve my puzzles. If they can't, well, then the bombs go off and this park will be gone. Poof! Gone.
What? Blow up the park?
That's a game. That's an attraction. How cool am I, huh?
Not very. What the hell are you talking about? Taking my uncle and the park staff hostage isn't a game, you jerk. This park is my uncle's dream, and there were so many people looking forward to enjoying it. What should I do?
Now then, who should I pick to be my 7 little heroes? Oink. Who indeed?
Right. Hey, hold on. Everybody else was trying desperately to escape, but I raised my hand high in the air. Count Hogstein frowned. I'll take your challenge. I don't really know what his game is, And if I'm being honest, this is pretty scary, but thanks to Uncle Keiji, I've gotten pretty good at figuring out game logic. Count Hogstein stared at me for a moment, then snorted.
There aren't any takebacks here, kid. I'm not going to care if you change your mind.
I know what I'm doing. I stole a quick glance at my uncle, tied up and gagged. He looked worried. I gave him the slightest of nods, careful not to let Count Hogstein notice. I can't let this park get blown up by that creep. I'll solve his stupid puzzles, and I'll save my uncle. Stage 1. Why is the castle of Orthanc in this park? Is this all Saruman's doing? Well, they told all the participants to come to this plaza, so here I am. Ooh. Pretty men. I like them all but the little guy, which is usually the case for me. I see 6 other people. Count Hogstein had mentioned 7 heroes, which means the other 6 people there are probably the other participants.
Ladies and gentlemen, and you guys too, please pay attention.
That voice, it's him!
Well, look, he's finally decided to grace us with his presence.
Oh my gosh, finally! I was getting super tired of waiting, you guys. I swear, this guy looks like Brad Pitt. This must be like right after he did an interview with a vampire. He came and did this game.
Although I hear his voice, I do not see the man, Pig himself. From where does this voice come from? There, it's coming from behind that statue.
Statue? Oh, I see it. How could you not see it before? It's right there, right in front of the Tower of Orthanc. There's a TV on its back that's showing Count Hogstein, but the statue is...
This thing is gross.
You got that right.
Well, it looks like you're all here, so let's move on to the fun stuff, oink. You're about to be pitted against the devious game I've devised. In other words, you are 7 noble warriors who dare to stand up to the monstrous Count Hogstein, oink oink.
For real, bro. Sure you don't want to go all in and make it Hogula. Might not be cliche enough already.
Well, at least he realizes he's the antagonist.
First, though, I thought it'd be nice to break the ice by exchanging names. You all know mine already, but I think you're still strangers to each other. Since I'm such a sweet fellow, I'll give you a little time to talk amongst yourselves. Adieu!
And now he's gone.
Something of a wild spirit, isn't he?
So, are we just supposed to tell each other our names and stuff?
Well, if we're gonna fight a villain, we should probably have names.
Knowing a man's name is the first step on the road to trust. I'll go first. I'm Subaru Shido, police detective.
He's the one!
Wait, you're a cop? Yes, I've got my badge right here.
Whoa, awesome! I've never seen a real one before. What's a detective doing at an amusement park? Security, maybe?
No way you're off-duty on that get-up. Were you on security or something? Yes, I was in charge of security for the opening ceremony.
Whoa, seriously? The guy who let all this happen is part of our team of warriors?
Oh, he takes offense to that. He's just glaring. I guess he's not the good cop.
Please calm down. Fighting amongst our band will only lead to greater strife. Calm your passionate hearts. I am known as Kimimaru Urabe. I am, as you can see, a teller of fortunes.
And also played by Brad Pitt. Well, that's a nice change of pace. He seems like he's pretty nice, if a little weird, and he really does look like a fortune teller. How exactly is he making that ball levitate anyway?
Next would be you.
Did he not hear? I think it's your turn. What's your name? And why are you wearing a straitjacket? Are you escaped from a mental institution? I'm not so sure he should be here.
Kota Mayoshi. I'm unemployed.
And escaped from a mental institution.
Man, you're cheerful.
And very quiet. Huh? I guess he doesn't talk much. But this kid, I feel like I've seen his face somewhere before.
Anyway, guess it's my turn. But do I really need to introduce myself? I mean, you've all seen me on TV, right? No. My apologies, but I have little knowledge of the secular world. I don't care about TV. You look kind of familiar, but I gotta be honest. If you weren't important, I'm pretty sure I'd remember you. Really? None of you? Oh my gosh, this is crazy. None of you heard of the Junior Boys? I was invited here today as a guest.
Of course, I remember. The Junior Boys was a band that was super popular mostly with girls. All the members were really cute, and a bunch of my classmates were fans. Boy bands weren't really my thing, you know. That explains why he looked familiar, though.
I guess I'm not very popular with old guys. I need to work harder on that.
Why? Old guys aren't exactly the target audience for boy bands. You don't need to worry about it. You got plenty of young girls to make money off of.
Alright, I'm Toa Wakasa. It's nice to meet you.
I think that old guy comment might have made things a bit awkward here, but this kid's definitely got the face of a star.
Sweet, I'm up next. Ryusei Mitarashi, a lady and gentleman. I'm an escort.
And by escort, does he mean a host? A what?
You heard me. In fact, I'm the #1 at Ulysses down in Ginza. You ever feel like making your wildest dreams come true, babe? Just pay me a visit.
He doesn't really look like an escort, but the way he talks.
So, we got a detective, a fortune teller, and a nerd. A teen pop star and an escort. He really cast a wide net when he picked this motley crew.
Alright, what are you supposed to be then? You weren't holding out on us, are you?
Oh, sorry about that. Forgot give and take is the basis of any kind of information gathering. Name's Ayumi Shirabe, freelance journalist. I came here to get the scoop on the opening of this place and, well...
He sighed.
Then, the only one of us remaining is you. You'll have to excuse me for thinking your volunteering for this game is a little suspicious.
Suspicious? I'm Saki Inafune. I'm a high school student.
Oh, I thought you might be. Why would a kid like you volunteer for something like this?
To stop the bombs, of course, and to rescue the hostages. After I spoke, they all fell silent.
You're pretty young.
Why'd you volunteer, though? Are you totally nuts? Why didn't you run away? That's what I would have done. This whole thing is seriously whack.
If we could leave, I'd go in a minute. I'm tired.
What the hell's taking Pork Chop so long anyway? Think he'll show up if we kick this ugly-ass statue over?
No, we don't want to aggravate him. It's important to remain calm in a hostage situation, or you run the risk of escalating the criminal's behavior.
Seriously? Man, you're a white knight, aren't you? Are your cop buddies this upright, or are you the star of the force?
And there is nothing more important than preserving human life. That's true for any officer of the law, but more importantly, it's true for any man. Yes, the hostages are most certainly a concern, should I attempt to divine their fate with my crystal ball. Sorry, but I'd rather stick to information that'd be admissible in court. I see. How unfortunate.
Jeez, I want to get out of here.
I think I need to sit down.
This is disappointing. Nobody's as motivated as me. None of these guys really feel like hero material. But I guess none of them chose to be here, so I can't really blame them for being upset. I'm just worried about whether or not we can pull this off.
Alrighty, your little team building exercise is over.
Oh, he's back.
Now that you're all best friends, I think it's time to move on. Just follow my piglet to Castle Hogstein if you please.
Ugh. I hadn't noticed until that moment that one of the people in the black unitards had appeared next to us. There was no question he was the piglet. Well, at least he's polite. This way.
This whole song and dance really chased my ass. Can't you just come out here and talk to us?
Please, Mitarashi, calm down. Given the situation in which we find ourselves, cooperation is likely the wisest course of action.
I'm thrilled to see you understand. Now please hurry. Our time together is short and wasting. It could cost you your life.
What?
Oink, oink, oink. Enough talk. Move it. Chop, chop.
Let's just, listen to him, okay? Standing around here is boring anyway.
Alright, the castle it is. After all, I say a reporter's best asset is his feet, right?
But just what kind of game is he going to make us play? We shall see. We followed the piglet inside the castle Count Hogstein had indicated. It wasn't long before it opened up into a magnificent room that looked like a banquet hall from a period drama.
Oink, oink. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the world of despair.
You!
A pig on a throne? What is this, some kind of half-assed political commentary?
Be quiet, he can hear you. Have you already forgotten about the hostages?
Oink, oink, oink. Bigger all you want, but on your own time. Right now I need to explain the several rules of my game.
Odd. There's something strange at the base of the stairs. That looks like a box draped in blue cloth.
The box looked like it was about twice as tall as the piglet standing at attention next to it. What was in there? This didn't feel good.
Weren't you going to explain the rules?
Well, once a day you'll risk your life to challenge one of the attractions. That's the game. Now, the first rule. The time limit for each game is 7 hours.
Whoa, what?
The second rule is that you may not harm my illustrious person. That includes, of course, my piglets, who I think of as part of my own body.
That's weird. Sure, fine. Next rule.
The third rule should be obvious, but you are solely and legally responsible for any danger you might find yourselves in. I have a waiver for you to sign.
That doesn't make any sense at all. I mean, he's already doing kidnapping and illegal stuff, so unless this is actually part of the real plan, and we have to sign waivers because this is actually legitimately part of the park's opening, I don't know, it just doesn't make sense.
And that seems like cheating.
The fourth rule, or more like a condition I guess, is that if you can't beat a game, then that attraction blows up. No second chances.
You coward.
The fifth rule is that all communication with the outside is expressly verboten. Nothing. No one.
What? Oh no, my agent's gonna freak.
My sincerest apologies. Maybe you should think about that the next time you decide to go waste your time having fun. Oink.
What a jerk.
And of course, the sixth rule is that you're not allowed to escape. Obviously. The seventh and last rule is that if you are stupid enough to break any of my rules, the hostages all die. Oink, 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 oink.
Oh no. As soon as he finished talking, Count Hogstein began to laugh, his stomach jiggling obscenely. How can he laugh about killing people? He's awful. I frowned, trying to think of something to say when...
You son of a bitch!
Stop. A man controls his emotions. He doesn't let his emotions control him.
Yeah, well, I'm about to let my fist control his face.
Shido was doing his best to hold Mitarashi back, but I wasn't sure how long he'd last. You need to calm down. If you get mad, you're just going to do what he wants.
Correct. The rules prevent us from harming him. If we do, the hostages will be killed. Damn it.
I like him. He's spirited. He swore and shook off Shido, slamming his fist into a nearby pillar.
Oink, oink, oink. I have to say I'm relieved that at least one of you knows how to behave.
With a slimy smile, he clapped his hands. At his signal, the piglets took hold of the blue cloth. It fell away from the box, revealing... What I thought was a box was actually a giant cage, and inside of it was my uncle and the park management.
So, he's showing us how he can kill the hostages whenever he wants.
Exactly. I hope you won't hold it against me. After all, if you just follow the rules, I won't be forced to do anything unpleasant. Such as, for instance, dropping a giant metal ball. Oink, oink.
Metal ball? As I spoke, he grinned and looked up toward the ceiling. I followed his gaze. And I'm sure there's a metal ball.
What? There's a giant metal ball over the cage.
No! It was all too clear what Count Hogstein's message was. That's...
All he has to do to kill all of them is drop that ball.
It was what we were all thinking, even if I'd been too afraid to say it.
That's cowardly. They can't even fight back.
Well, that's the idea.
If you decide to hurt me, then splat, snort. Good thing you held back, huh? Close call. Oink, oink, oink.
He was so smug, I just wanted to punch him in that massive, jiggly gut every time he opened his mouth.
So, long story short, you should try and follow those 7 rules when you play through each attraction. There'll be lots of puzzles for you to figure out, so I hope you're ready to work together and solve them.
And the ones we can't beat will be blown up.
Ah, yes, thank you for reminding me. I forgot to mention that you'll be blown up along with the attraction, so please do be careful.
What? Are you for real?
Well, if you can't beat it, then you can't get out. And if you can't get out... Oink.
He was talking about killing people, about killing us. How could he be so casual?
Well, this wouldn't be a very exciting game if your lives weren't in danger. So make sure you don't forget the rules. Oink, oink, oink.
I won't let him get away with this. Everyone else was staring at the arrogant pig, probably thinking the same thing I was. Everyone except for Wakasa. Oh man. Oh man, oh man. Why me? He slumped to the ground, holding his head. Man up, kid. I'd volunteered to play Hogstein's sick game, but Wakasa hadn't. None of them had. I guess they're victims too. I felt a cold shiver run down my spine. There was no guarantee one of these men wouldn't try to escape. I knew my uncle, but apart from that, the hostages were complete strangers to all of us. I really don't know about these guys. I don't know anything about them. No, I have to trust them. We're going to be working together for 7 days. If I don't trust them... I shook my head. We'd never be able to win Hogstein's games unless we trusted each other. The characters in Uncle Keiji's games always talked about how important it was to believe in other people. I leveled a glare at the pig. There was no way I was going to lose.
Well, now that we finished going over the rules, I think it's high time we started today's game. Oink.
Finally getting started, huh?
Today's game celebrates the wonderful world of RPGs. Let's move, everyone. Come along now.
Another piglet appeared to guide us, and we set off for the RPG attraction Hogstein had indicated. It looks like Disneyland. With Orthanc in the middle for some reason. It totally doesn't match the rest of the park. Actually, we're going to go ahead and end the video there. We'll talk about the different sections of the park in the next video. So I hope that got off to a good start. So now we've met everybody already, and we've got the premises of the game down. I guess in the next episode, we're going to see exactly what our objectives are in all these different theme park sections. So hope to see you there or in some of my other videos. And I'd be so grateful for any likes, comments, subscriptions, or shares with your friends to show some support. Thank you so much for joining me, and I wish you all health, happiness, and safety. Dirili signing out. Bye-bye, everybody.